everyone, so today we're going to do a get ready with me, hence why I look like this. And I am always in awe of those YouTubers who have their hair all perfectly done while they're putting their makeup on, because I physically can't. I have to have my hair up when I'm putting my makeup on, hence why my hair looks a little bit something a little bit like this. But I have to have my hair up my face when I'm doing it, because otherwise it drives me mental. So I'm going to start putting my makeup on. I've got nothing on my face now, obviously, other than moisturiser. And you can see actually kind of that my pigmentation is still a little bit there, but it's a lot better than it was. I have got this little red mark here from kind of picking a spot the other day, which I shouldn't have done. And I did one there as well, but other than that my skin's not too bad. I'm going to start with foundation, and at the moment I'm testing out the number 7 Stay Perfect Super Light foundation, because I've been really into having a really light kind of, not necessarily like coverage, I do like a little bit of coverage, but just light in texture, and I don't want to feel like I've got tons of stuff on my face, if that makes sense. So I've been using this. I haven't made my mind up about it completely yet. It is one of those that you have to shake before you use it a little bit. And to be honest, I have only tried applying it with my fingers and with the Real Techniques buffing brush. If you've tried it with a kind of beauty blender type of thing, let me know. I've got a mirror down here which helps me out a lot, because it means I'm not using the viewfinder as a mirror. And the shade I'm using as well is Warm Ivory. And I'm going to do it with the Real Techniques buffing brush. The coverage of it is light. I mean, it's not high coverage, and you can build it, but it kind of just disappears into the skin, which I like, because I feel like I only really need foundation on the centre of my face anyway. Like, I don't feel like I need it all over. And I don't ever put foundation on my forehead, which I know drives some of you insane, but it breaks me out and it just makes me so oily that I feel like it's just not worth it at all. But I like to kind of concentrate it in the areas where I need it, and then leave the areas where I don't really need it a little bit more bare, because let's face it, you know, like, I don't mind looking made up at all, but foundation's one of those things that you don't really want to see. I kind of look like a reversed cat or something now. I do like the packaging of that foundation though. But I thought, oh, it'll be really good for travel, but I don't actually think it is, because it kind of, because the formula's so liquid, it comes out of the nozzle in a bit of an irritating sort of way. But I kind of like to just stipple it a little bit on the areas where I do need a bit more coverage. I actually like not having much coverage on my nose, because I don't know how well it shows up on camera, probably doesn't, but I do have a little bit of like freckles on my nose, and I really like it. I really like freckles. I think they look really pretty and kind of cute. When I go in the sun I get really freckly. It also brings up my pigmentation, but that's another matter. But I like freckles, I think they look pretty. So yeah, I mean, this is me. I will buff my foundation in for ages. I like it to just look really kind of seamless. Always take it down kind of the chin and neck area. It is one of those weird foundations though, looking at it now, like, it does look really kind of pretty and skin-like. But then, I don't know, it doesn't last that long, which is weird considering it's targeted at like Stay Perfect or whatever. And I've just realised now that I've left my powder brush upstairs, because I'm incapable of remembering to bring everything I need when I film one of these videos. But I'm going to go in with concealer now, Maybelline Instant Eye Eraser. I use it in the shade Nude. I do feel like it's about time they came out with a few more colours in this, because colour selection's not great. And I like to kind of do this sort of like upwards thing in the outer corner when I do this. I do put a lot of this on because it's just so blendable that I feel like it makes the job of applying less foundation kind of a bit easier. And then I'll just go in with my Real Techniques little sponge. I have actually bought a new one of these, but I don't know where I put it. Let's go and have a look. Concealer just makes everything so much better, doesn't it? Like, look at the difference there. I can't live without products concealer. I do always have to set my concealer though, because my skin is very oily and the shape of my eyes, it creases. A little bit more. It's one of those great products as well that you can use tons, and it just kind of doesn't really show like you're using loads, it just looks really natural. Which is what I want with base products. I'm okay with, you know, mascara doesn't look natural, eyeliner isn't natural, lipstick doesn't look natural, but I want my base to look as natural as it can. I'm then going to set it. I'm using at the moment this yellow powder from the Makeup Revolution contour palette, that one, but to be honest I'm not super fussy about this. But I would like to kind of have a nice under eye setting powder, so if you've got any recommendations let me know. Like a nice yellow powder. There we go, that's cool. Actually no, let me do a little bit more here. There we go, that's okay. Then for concealer on my face, I still always like to kind of cover my pigmentation a little bit with Vichy dermablend. You can't see it too much when I've got foundation, but I just want it completely to look as good as it possibly can. And I definitely think that like your skin and your base looking perfect is the most important thing. Whatever makeup look I'm doing, regardless. I always think it looks really funny though when I put my foundation on, that my skin then looks really even, but my eyelids are so dark. It's just something to do with my colouring, I think. It's just that kind of slightly like Middle Eastern colouring, isn't it? Well, I mean, I'm not really dark, like dark skin. But, then I'm going to powder, and seeing as how I didn't bring my powder brush, I'm just going to use my bronzer brush. Get rid of any excess. We're already on 6 minutes. I really try and make it swift when I do these videos, but it doesn't ever seem to work. I'm using the Rimmel Stay Matte powder, by the way. Sorry I didn't bother to even mention that, did I? No. Make sure I get a lot kind of in the centre of my face, because that's where I tend to get very oily. Then bronzer, let's go in with bronzer. I'm going to use this one by NYC, which is the Smooth Skin Bronzer in Sunny, which I've already hit pan on. I always go back to this in the winter, because I like bronzer, but I like it to look natural. Don't like kind of a really obviously too bronze look. And this is just kind of like a nice, just warms your complexion up, which is what I like. A little bit more. And I always take it down my neck as well. I always find with bronzer as well, it always looks a bit like a lot at the beginning, and then it kind of settles down into your skin. I always take it down my neck, because my neck and chest are always paler. I mean, I've got fake tan on. My hands are like a lot paler than my chest is, a lot darker than my chest is. My chest always gets really light, so I always kind of like to connect the colour a little bit, but the bronzer kind of dies down on my skin and goes a bit more light anyway. Then for contour, I've also forgotten my contour powder upstairs, so I won't contour right now. Will I? Oh no, I will. I'll contour with the thingy palette. That wasn't the one I was going to use, but I can use that, that's fine. So I'm going to use this shade right here, which is a kind of grey sort of bronzy colour. Only a small bit, because it is quite pigmented. And I like to kind of take it up a little bit as well. I've always done this, like, I'm not saying, oh, I was popular before it, like, was popular, but contouring's just always been something I've done, because I feel like my face shape really benefits from it. I always do a bit of my jawline as well. Now brows, I've actually managed to grow out my brows significantly over the last kind of 2 or 3 months. To the point where I'm now starting to wonder if maybe they're a little bit thick. But my I kind of just wanted them to just fill out a little bit more, basically. So I am going to fill them in with the Soap & Glory Archery pencil. I use the shade Lover's Blonde, even though I'm not remotely blonde, just because I like a lighter kind of colour in my brows. And I don't like them to be very, very blocky, which is something that in comments people seem to find quite annoying, but I like them to still look like brows. Like, I like them to look like hairs rather than just like one block brow. I know that's really kind of in, but it's just not for me. Like, I don't want someone to look at my face and just see that my brows are completely made up. I want them to still look like brows. That's why I like using kind of brow gels and things like that just adds a little bit of texture, because I just think it looks nice. Now I'm going to do a slightly more kind of purple eye look today. I always have to extend them a bit as well, because they, well, that one particularly. Then I just brush through them again. I do like the kind of very brushed up brow look. I think it just looks very pretty. And I'm going to set them with just the Benefit Clear Brow Gel. Well, I'm actually not sure that this is 100% clear. I think it's got a teeny bit of a tint look to it, but I really need to pick up the Loreal Brow Artist Plumper, or whatever it's called. Everyone keeps telling me about it in comments, and I really need to get it, but I just always forget. But yeah, that's my brows on. Then for eyeshadow, I'm going to do a bit of a purpley look, but I'm going to start with a bit of base first. And I'm just kind of trying to keep an eye on the time. I'm using NYX Milk as my eyeshadow base at the moment, because I have been using this for the last week or so and it seems to be working quite well. And I have terrible, terrible problems with my eyeshadow creasing. I've got such oily skin and such oily eyelids that it just always ends up creasing. Take a little bit under my brow bone because I didn't put any highlighter on there. Yeah, I'm just one of those people who is unlucky in that area. I've tried so many, like all the ones that everyone always raves about, Urban Decay, Too Faced, all of those ones. It just never really worked for me. Okay, base on. Then I'm going to use this palette from Elithabeth Arden. I actually got this in a kit for my birthday, and it's their ombres and purples. It tells you kind of the names of the shades, but there are lots of purple shades basically, which I do really like, and it's kind of one of the only ways that I like to incorporate wearing colour in my eye makeup. So I'm gonna do this kind of pink whitey shade first, all over the lid. I kind of haven't got a specific look in mind, I'm just playing around. And I think kind of it's because I've got brown eyes, I do think it kind of it's difficult to get anything to pop colour wise on brown eyes. Get this kind of nice bright colour laid down first. Then I'll do a bit of this kind of pinky colour here. Oh, this is pretty. It's kind of got a bit of shimmer to it, this one, so it adds a bit of dimension kind of on the outer corner. My eyes are kind of like got a tiny bit of green in them, but I don't know, I always feel like they're one of the features on my face that's just very, kind of doesn't really show up much. Then what shall I do? I'll go in with the kind of plummy matte colour in the crease, although I hope it's a nice blendable colour, because I do find with a lot of matte colours that they just don't blend very well when you kind of use them like that. So I'm doing it with this kind of really plummy colour here. And I always do it above the crease. When I say crease, I actually mean above, because my eyes are a little bit hooded, so it just works better. Not too bad. Where's my blending brush? I'm really aware of the fact that we're like at 15 minutes now, and I don't want this video to be so long, but like this is how long, I don't know. Chatty Get Ready With Me's are my favourite, but maybe other people find them a bit annoying. And that's the doorbell that I'm back. That was the post lady who probably thought I was mental because I answered the door with like one eye with eye makeup and one eye without. She probably thought I was mad. But she's I know her, so maybe she didn't. But let's do the other eye. I always wonder like what they think post people, because I always like, you know, I get so many packages and I just always think like I answer the door in so many different states. Like sometimes I'll be like fully glammed up and then other times completely not, and I just think they must think it's really funny. For some reason I feel like this isn't showing up on camera anywhere near as purple as it is in real life. It is purple, it's nice. But on camera I feel like it just looks brown. That's what I mean, there's something about my face that just is weird with makeup. It kind of just has this tendency to make everything look neutral even when it isn't that neutral. I'm also kind of aware of my battery running out a bit now. Let's do some waterline nude liner. And then what else shall I do? I'll do some liquid liner. I'm using this one from Clinique and it's the Pretty Easy liquid eyeliner pen. I've only recently started using this and I quite like it. And then to do the wing, I like to kind of use the bottom lash line as a guideline, so I'll kind of go like that. And then I wing it out from underneath a little bit because I always add some brown liner to kind of join it up so it's a bit of a cat eye. So like that. My camera is flashing at me that I haven't got very long left to film, so I'm going to pause it for a second, do the other eye, do mascara, and then come back because you don't want to see me do mascara. Okay, so I am back with my mascara and liner on. For mascara I use two because that's what I usually end up doing. I've got the world's crappiest little eyelashes. They're so short and just unnoticeable. I used Telescopic by Loreal first, and then I went over it with the Maybelline Lash Sensational because that doesn't smudge on me. And I went and had a look in the other mirror and I don't know about this foundation. I feel like I just went and put a bit more powder on just now because I feel like it's just so sort of dewy, and it's really not meant to be. Like, I mean, it does feel barely there, but yeah, I don't know about that one. I'm not sold on that foundation, which is annoying because it's not really cheap either. It was like nearly 15 quid, which I think's not that cheap. But I'm going to do lips. Actually, no, let me do eyes first. Cheeks first, sorry. I am going to use the Maxfactor Cream Puff Blush in nude mauve, whatever you want to call it. Just on the apples. Which I think is quite pretty. It gives a nice little bit of a sheen. I like that. And then for lips, I'm going to do the number 7 nude liner first because I do that with pretty much everything. And then, what shall I do? Let's do the Elithabeth Arden lipstick in Pink Pucker. It's kind of like a kind of pale pink, but I think it'll look nice with this eye. There we go. Not the most autumnal colour, it's kind of a bit peachy. But there we go. I'm just looking in the mirror now, like really close up in this light. I don't know about that foundation. I think It looks a bit weird. But yeah, that's my finished look. How much better do I look now compared to at the beginning? But I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to have to piece it together and edit it, and it will be long, so I apologise if you don't like long videos. But, you know, when you're actually getting ready, it kind of, that is how long it takes to get ready. I'm not someone that can get ready in like 5 minutes with a proper face. Like, I can do quick makeup, but this is, you know, a nice face of makeup, I think. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.